Never before in all our history have
these forces been so united against one candidate as they stand today. They are unanimous in their hate for me, and I welcome their hatred.
Yes, my Washington, you are going to start this up to the millions of working families of this class, not just the billionaire class. We know what's going on. We are paying attention.
All right, everybody. That's where it drops off. Good morning. I was trying to fix Marcus's shot while I was listening to that. When is it? Deniz is with us.
Morning, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Morning.
That's not the same card from last week. It's a different part of the world.
And it's just as hot.
It's hot. Yeah. The other part of the world, the part that Americans don't even think about. So, yeah, hi, everybody. There's a lot of people here. It's 13 already showing up. Good morning, Jilly Love and Philip, Blair. How you doing? Ima, Karen, Schultze, Mark Burns. Saw you in there. Justin. Hi, Justin. Bryce. Wow.
Wow. Hey,
Honored
Justin.
to have Justin in here. Melissa, Dylan. If I don't get your name, Barbara. Dina. Is it Deanna or Dina? I'm so dumb. You know. Oz, how are you? I am. I couldn't really be a professional person because I'm terrible with people's names.
I think it's Deanna.
Thank you, Deanna. Al.
But she can confirm.
Yeah.
Al, thank you for having an easy name.
Yeah. Darcy. Darcy's got an easy first name to the last name. I still fuck up all the time. Anyway, good morning, everybody. And Melissa, tell all the children at your store that there will be some cuss words today, probably. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. It's very up and down, expansive. We'll talk about that. But I really, Marcus is going to talk more about the climate stuff. Deniz is going to talk about what he wanted to talk about last week that we forgot. And Laura's going to talk about Bernie. And I'm only going to briefly bring up a few things. But I just wanted to point out that the temperature, the heat wave we're breaking records for countries all time in the history of the universe. And that's what this is basically saying. But that's not the all that's cool. There's the fires in the Arctic are beyond. So there's fires in the Arctic. Those fires are a recursive system that are going to cause the heat waves to get worse, right? So that's fun. And CNN's going to host a climate crisis town hall, which is going to be basically a shit show on that. And then the icing on the cake for all of this is that I just read another story that it turns out our analysis of glacier melt has been completely wrong, and it's about 100 times faster than we thought it was. Just 100 times. So climate spectrum-wise, I'm thinking Europe is going to act first, but I don't know. Marcus is going to tell us more about that. But I really wanted to just hit those things real quick. Laura, you moved my list of things down farther somewhere, right? Where'd it go? Where's my list of things?
I didn't move your list of things.
I wonder where my list of things would go. Shit.
Maybe that's what you deleted accidentally.
That's probably what I deleted. List of things. Crap. I deleted a slide earlier. I wasn't sure what it was. That was it. All I remember on the top of the list of things was just to say thank you all for continuing to support the channel, because we continue to get donations, and that's awesome because we're actually doing a lot of things, even though you might not see it on the channel itself. We got a lot going on. Larry's not going to be doing a show tomorrow because we got a lot of stuff going on. Wait for those big announcements. Parliamentary talk will be happening. There's a lot going on that Larry has to unwind for everybody with the DPO, with Casey Hansen, the chair, with recalls, all sorts of stuff happening there that has been brought about by you, because Uphill Media and Larry the Progressive Oregon Show, Betsy, the things been going on there, has been a driving force in affecting change in the Democratic Party of Oregon. Right? Definitely can't say that nationally, but definitely your support and your effort has helped us to affect change in the Democratic Party of Oregon in a big way. Shine a light on the corruption and inform the SEC, which is huge. And Larry said something to me, and if you're in the audience, I'm paraphrasing Larry, but I want to say this. A year ago, Larry said, everybody hates me. I was like, I know how that feels, right? But that's when and Ken knew how that felt. It's when what you're saying, when what you're talking about, nobody wants to hear. Nobody wants to accept it for reality, right? Whether you're talking about the climate crisis 20 years before everybody else is freaking out, whether you're talking about censorship and what's going on with independent media before everybody else, whether you're talking about what the corruption that's going on in the Democratic Party of Oregon and how to control it. A year ago, Larry was basically shunned, called a pariah. It was the pariah, the DPO, and today he says that seems to have changed, right? That there are people actually behind him now that have actually caught up, that have read the material, that are on the same page. He's got support. And that's because you supported us to help educate the rest. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that's donated time or helped us on social media or dropped us money, right? Whatever it is you've done, you have actually made a difference in democracy, all right? So I want that to be very clear, because it's very rare when you see it translated from here's what I've invested in and here's how that investment played out. All right, we can track that. So be proud of that. And it doesn't matter if we only get 200 views on a show, because the audience of 166 people that we targeted, we affected, right? So mission accomplished. That's all I wanted to say on that. So there, everybody should be proud of that. And Oz is doing the same thing up in Washington. And we've got friends now in California, Jose and other folks that are doing the same thing down there in California. So we really do have.
We've been giving a voice to several different pundits here in California, and I think that, and we're, especially with Shahid's campaign, especially we're helping.
Right, and I will be talking about Shahid's campaign a little bit more later on. Laura and I are both volunteering for it personally, so it's just a full disclosure there, and there's some exciting stuff going on there. But before we get into all that shit, and thank you. Hi, Brian Cheese. Philip. Hey, Shelty. All right, so Laura, go on with, let's go into the Bernie update and find out what's going on, because Larry will not be doing a Bernie update this week either. He's just, too much is going on. So, all right, so carry on, Laura.
So I was on vacation this week, so I wasn't quite as dialed in as I normally am, but I do like to keep track of what Bernie is doing, and I have his calendar on my calendar so I can see what he's up to. So this week, I think probably the most notable one was his address to the NAACP convention in Detroit. He got a standing ovation while he was there. Oddly enough, the mainstream media forgot to kind of mention he was there in a lot of their reports, but then we're used to that. I was going to do a slide on all of the really crazy ways that people have been smearing Bernie on MSNBC, but you've seen them, and I don't want to dwell on that. So no.
Yeah.
And then later in the week, he was in Los Angeles. He did a town hall, and then he's been doing some actual fundraisers, like where you have to buy a ticket or something to come to an event. I think they're like, $18 or $27 or something like that. But
ridiculous.
Yeah, he had one in Hollywood, I believe, and I think that Tina Burke, I think she went. I know that Angelica Duenas was there because I saw she had got her picture with Bernie. So that was cool. So we'll hear more about, I think, from our LA friends. He did a big rally in Santa Monica yesterday, and then he's doing another of his fundraisers in Detroit today.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know how he does it. And then tomorrow is kind of a big day. He's, of course, he's in Detroit. He is going to be taking a busload of diabetic patients over the border to Canada to buy insulin for 1/10 of the price that we pay here. And I used to have a stepson who was a diabetic. And I remember when a little vial was just $70. I mean, and it's, $700, $800, $300 sometimes for just the most basic ones. Yeah. It's crazy. But this is a repeat of his trip that he did in 1999. He was the first person in the government to ever do a trip like this. He took breast cancer patients over to Canada to get the medicine that they needed, and many of them are the video that I posted the still of here had several of the people that he took back then, who are still alive because they got their medication. And,
right.
So he's doing this again, mainly calling out again the pharmaceutical industry, and telling them their greed is going to end, and illustrating the stark difference.
Nothing says your country's working like having your senators run across the border to get cheaper drugs.
Yeah. During election year. So I'm sure it'll be spun a bunch of different ways, but we know where the money is coming from to do that spinning, so it's automatically suspect. I left in the slide about Bernie's plan for Medicare for All, the rollout, in case you missed it last week. It's just in case people ask you, how will it work and whatever. The basics are that immediately in year one, benefits will expand to include dental and vision and hearing. Right. And the eligibility age will be dropped to 55. So I'm in, yes. And all children under the age of 17 are covered automatically.
Nice.
And then year two, the eligibility age drops to 45. Year three, it goes to 35. And by year four, everybody's covered. So if anybody asks you, how does it work? That's how it works. Existing program, expanded over 4 years. And I'm really looking forward to that, personally.
Yeah.
I think Medicare will be great.
Everybody knows how we pay for it, right? Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I like this plan because it structures, you can do in the first year, you have a certain group you address to, and then you can arrange the system, and then slowly make it bigger and available for everyone. It makes completely sense to do it like this, in my opinion.
Yeah. I have so many people who I know who just they know that they're going to have to work to 65 or beyond because they need to hang in there until they can get a Medicare, and then woo. And that's going to free up a lot of people to do a lot of different things if their insurance is not tied to their work.
Yeah.
I'm more in favor. My view is that the House bill is better. Because the risk is in this 4-year period of expansion, the cost for the premiums and so on that the people are already paying will go up. And then what?
They go away.
But no, you said to me he would start with 55 and 45.
Oh yeah. I have no idea how they will address the interim insurance payments.
Because the House bill calls for a transition for 2 years.
Yeah.
That's why,
yeah. Anyway, so that's the basic thing. I just wanted to make sure everybody saw that from when I did it before. And then again, if you are at all interested in getting in the inner workings of Bernie's campaign, it's very easy to connect with Bernie's campaign. You can start with info@berniesanders.com, and they'll send you to the proper places, or go at app.berniesanders.com or map.berniesanders.com, which show you how to canvass and show you locations for debate watch parties or canvas events that are in your area. And if you notice that there's no red dots in your area, that's your clue to be one of those red dots yourself. The Bernie Slacks, there's a couple different ones, are very active with people who are directly tied to the campaign, and stuff gets addressed very quickly and easily. And I can't recommend it highly enough if you are really interested in seeing what's going on behind the scenes and being part of it.
Right. Austin, if you're a workaholic, this is perfect for you. Just carve some time in there for the Bernie campaign and fill all that space with work.
Yeah, their volunteer network is amazing. When you hear we've got 1 million volunteers, you get a sense of it. It's just there is someone on it all the time, and it's really nice to see.
Yes. Thank you. All right. Now, so that we don't forget, Deniz is going to talk about what he was supposed to talk about last week, about being human. Ready, Deniz?
Yeah. Because I have to say why I chose this topic. Because 2 weeks ago, a co-worker of mine died right in front of my eyes, and it reminded me of my that I'm not immortal, because most people of us thinking, we are young, we're living till 80 and so on. My co-worker was 37 years old, and he became a father 2 weeks before his death, and this was something. And also, this is one of the most fundamental questions we have to wrestle with, because from my perspective now, after this experience and after I'm reading all this kind of texts and books from Chekhov to Cornel West, and see sermons from Dr. Barber from North Carolina, I came to the conclusion, what does it to be a human? My answer is death. Because the time you have on Earth is what you have, I would say it's like a journey. You have a certain amount of years, you don't know when you die. There's something you can't escape. You can choose. I stop breathing for a whole minute, and then you stop with it. But if you die, you die. And let's go to the next thing, because the biggest critique by examining my own life and today's society and looking around what's happening and so on, this is a perfect picture it's a synonym of today's society, because we are educated, indoctrinated to be successful, to be smart, to get far ahead, and don't look to the left or to the right or to people behind. Don't reach out to others. Just do it, and be the best as you can, and so on. And this is something I pursued. I was self-employed. I had a restaurant. I had a lot of money and worked hundreds of hours and so on. And now, after meeting you guys in the chat, and especially Laura, John, and Markus, it really woke me up now, after this deadly and really sad experience with my deceased co-worker. And this is something, I'm 30, and like Markus and I, we had a little discussion yesterday outside on the back porch, and we talked about this, and I'm thankful for you guys, especially after all this, what I've gone through and I'm wrestling with, and But in comparison, we have Bernie Sanders, and this is something I would say what is really we aspire to be a human being. I would say if you have power, if you have success, you don't you get to this higher level and forget everything around you. But Bernie's other thing is decided to go another way and to show us what it can be, the meaning of what can it be to be a human. He has power, but he doesn't take credit for it or just makes millions of dollars just for his pocket and doesn't give a shit about others. But he chooses to do what he's with the power and all the might he have with the movement around it and so on. He's doing a human thing. He's spreading justice. He's talking about people who are suffering. And I would say if I would have the chance to restart my life again, like we all do in some point if we are down, I would say I would be happy to go like a way like Bernie Sanders, in the way that I don't forget my peers, I fight for them, and I probably will stop now because I'm getting really emotional. I don't want to cry here on live, but Yeah, guys, it's just at the moment I'm very struggling, and and you start if I am as a millennial, we get all the time hear from other folks, we don't care about what's happening around us and so on. But we are also human beings. We have our problems, we have our feelings. We think about not just like society wants us to be money driven and selfish and so on. No, we also reflect. We also have this one journey, this gift. And I, for myself, can say, I will change my life, and I will probably start living my life and not work and do my life like I used to do in the past, like money.
Good.
Yeah.
Although,
And well, as I sorry,
no,
as I said to you yesterday, Deniz. Well, there's no reason to be sad about it. You know, the good thing, you got to see the bright thing in it. You know, you are only 30 years old, and you came to this conclusion. You woke up, you know, and it took me 20 years more, right? So be happy that you're at this point right now.
Yeah. And one sentence, sorry, and then we can move on, is this: my grandfather is the best example. He's now very ill, has Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and so on. But because before all this broke out, he was a man who really worked 7 days a week for 50 years straight. He was 1 week unemployed in the whole of these 50 years. And he said to me 3 years ago, before his illness broke out, he said to me, Deniz, and I didn't understand it at that point, because I was money driven and fame and all this stuff. And he said to me, Deniz, don't do the same mistakes I did. See the world, meet people, learn other languages, do some hobbies, play the guitar, whatever, do different things, not like me. I'm an old guy now. I don't have any friends. I'm alone. That's it.
Yeah. I see where you're coming from. Yeah. You're right.
Very true. I'm just going to be the asshole and remind everybody you can't really do all those things without money. So you kind of have to balance that. The capitalist system is what makes this all suck. And if the human species wants to move beyond what Deniz is talking about, then we need to end capitalism, because we really don't need it around.
Because it enslaves us, you know. The money enslaves us.
It sure does. And it bakes us in our own countries.
Yeah, we are coming to the sunny side of life.
Thank you, Deniz, for
thank you, Deniz.
being the
Deniz.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Serious part
guys.
there.
You're my second family. That's why I'm so open.
I appreciate that. All right, on to even more exciting news.
A hot topic, today's hot topic, summer in the cities, and oh boy, it's hot here. It's hot in Europe, and there's one record breaking the other one. This is things we never saw before. In Germany, we started to record our temperatures in 1881, and we never experienced those temperatures like we did in the past week. We had 2 days following up with more than 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and for us here in Europe, especially here in Germany, who are not used to those high temperatures, it is very it is a very bad situation for us, you know. And if you can see here in Paris on Friday, we got 42.5, which is not accurate. I think the latest official temperature is 42.6 degrees. The same number we got here in Germany, in Lower Saxony yesterday. And the thing is not only the hotness, with there is coming a very big humidity coming with it, which makes it very unbearable. You know, if you go outside, you get hit like a hammer in the sun, you know, and your clothes getting damp and everything. Yes, and within a few minutes you have a nice layer of sweat on your body, you know. And well, as I said, it's not only in Germany, it is going on everywhere. The records are hitting Netherlands, also Belgium, France, of course, you know. And the conclusion is very simple, you know, and it is like it is always is. The scientists say they're coming from a Swiss institute, and they are referring to numbers of the last year of 2018, which was also a very, very hard and very, very hot summer. You know, they say clearly that it is not normal. You know, it is clearly the influence of climate change. There is no doubt about it. You know, and if you look at what's going on worldwide, you see the Arctic is burning, and it is horrible. You know, and in the end, this is what we have to get accustomed to, because the latest reports of our scientists say, or European scientists say, that we have to expect in the next few years temperatures about 46 degrees Celsius. This would be, I think, around 112 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, I don't know how this could work, you know. This would hurt, which is a good thing, by the way. This would hurt capitalism, you know, industries, etc. And well, but the people are suffering here. It is not like in America that every home has an air condition here. No, in contrary. And the people are baking here in their houses. Not only in Germany, but I think in most places.
Right.
Yeah, and it doesn't look good.
Do you think because of the severity of the issue that Germany or one of the other European countries will act sooner, faster on climate change?
As I said in spring, you know, I said if we got the same hot summer like we had last year, you can see week by week how the percentages, the plus percentages for the Green Party would be rising. And of course it is like this, you know, because the hotter it is, the people, you know, are stressed. The heat means stress for the people, for the body, you know, for your organs, etc. And they are confronted with this directly, and of course they are concerned.
Right, right. When is that next vote? Didn't you say there was a vote coming up, or a Green Party, a political thing coming up? A poll, the next poll.
No. We have weekly polls where it says how the development is shifting and etc. You know, and it helps the Green Party definitely, of course. You know, but in the end, they don't have any real solutions, in my opinion. They have good ideas, maybe, but I'm missing real solutions, and the only real solutions can only be if we work together, you know, nationwide and over and international. Otherwise, we have no chance.
Right. It's not going to get any better. And with the news out of the Arctic, I mean, that feedback loop has started, and we're not even talking about all the aspects of it. The heat is just one thing. The pathogens in the air is another one. That's going to be fun. Right.
Look, it's like the butterfly effect, you know. One thing is connected with another thing, and another thing, and another thing, and we cannot see how it leads. You know, it may be even more faster than we can imagine right now.
It is. I think that's the thing everybody is realizing, especially people. I mean, everybody that watches this show, this is all like preaching to the choir. We're just like, hey, everybody, the latest in catastrophe news, but. If you look back at the last several years, right, just start 2016 onward and think about the reporting information that has been released and the severity of each report, right? It's been exponentially worse, and it's happening so fast we're unable to track it, right?
Yeah.
They're losing their instruments because the ground on their instruments is going away. That should. You know,
there's one study coming out which is already you can throw it in the paper basket because it's old already the moment it comes out, because it gets even worse, you know.
Right.
The new data show it.
Right. And something, you know, that I was reading about the fires in the Arctic, right? Normally they have fires in the Arctic. It happens. Normally those fires burn brush and they're done. These fires are burning the peat. And when peat burns, it just burns and burns and burns and burns and keeps burning, and it unlocks a fuck ton of CO2 and NO2, which is just as horrible. And that's what's going on right now. And we can't put out these fires. Nothing's going to put out the peat fire until rain, right? Or winter. I mean, there's a dome of smoke building above the Arctic right now, and that's going to trap all the heat, and you know, I guarantee you in the next couple of years, Miami is going to disappear.
And it's not only Europe or America. If you look at Russia, if you
Yeah.
look at Siberia,
Siberia is fucked.
on Monday night there was a TV show here in Germany where they showed what's going on there in Siberia. Siberia is so incredibly big, this part of Russia, you know. And if you see, there was a scientist who was showing what's going on there. The inner ice in the earth is melting, you know, and this leads to holes in the ground. There are buildings which are completely they are going to collapse, you know, and they see the infrastructure here in Siberia, in this part of the country, would be gone within the next couple of years, and everything is sinking down, and all this stuff, the CO2 is rising in the air, and he says it would break your back, definitely. Only this.
Yeah, and what I've seen, the media is starting to catch up a little bit, right? The fact that CNN is doing a town hall after the DNC refused to is interesting, but they're doing it because they know it'd be good ratings at this point.
Yeah,
And they got, hey, a lot of people want that. But the feedback loop has just gotten so quick, and there's an article that I've seen more and more articles now where it was 12 years, right? And you still have politicians saying in America anyway. I don't know what they're spewing in Germany, but you know, 12. We have 12 years, right? That was the line. Then it was 10 years. Then Bill Nye said we have more like 5 years, all right. And then there was a couple articles that came out for that, and then the most recent one I saw is we have 18 months, right? And I'm like, that's you know.
And it's strange that you mentioned this, because I cannot remember that we have the discussion about in Germany about the time which is left. Deniz, do we have any information? They only I'm talking about the politicians. You know, they only think they can declare climate emergency cases for the cities. You know, and then then the problem somehow will solve if we do bullshit. You know.
What?
No, the thing is,
nothing serious which would hurt the industries, you know, or all those things which cause all this mess. You know, you can forget about this.
Let's face it, John. You like to say that democracy is working better over here, but it's the same shit. On the surface, we have it better, but all the lobbying, all the other stuff is also going. For example, we have now von der Leyen, our former defense minister, now is the head of the EU Commission. The Commission sets the agenda of the whole EU regarding laws and so on. And what did she say in her first open speech in the Parliament? Oh, climate change. We will face it till 2050. So there you have it.
Oh, wow.
We got to check the budget. This was also.
Gotta check the budget. That's
yes. No fucking joke.
This is. I mean, we have endless money for war, but we have to check the budget on saving our own fucking species, or
and
saving the bulk of it, because we know that some will survive, right?
Yeah. The elites will survive. They will go to the places which would be kind of inhabitable, right?
Yeah, it will be.
And all the others, you know, will have the water standing, you know, to the lips.
Yeah, it's exciting times, everybody. And yeah. Laura, you got something?
No, I was just noticing. I was in the mountains of Idaho, which is a lot of space and a lot of construction and a lot of rich people with fancy houses high in the mountains.
High in the mountain.
Idaho is definitely militia country. You're in. Yeah. That's where Republicans ran to.
I didn't look at it that way, but I was thinking, okay, yeah, it's people are going to be, you know, heading for the open spaces, and that's definitely the type of territory they go to.
Rural America is going to be where, you know, some survive in some aspects, depending on where you are. We're in a good spot. I'm in a good spot. Deniz. But thank you all for being here. Wow, there's 50 people watching right now. 77 playbacks. Great chat I see happening here. Everybody's talking good stuff. There was only a couple trolls I saw earlier. We've been getting more trolls. I always know when we're getting less censorship on the YouTubes when we get more trolls coming in. And there were some on Larry's coverage of the Astoria ice raid, which was completely unconstitutional. Anyway, thank you, Deniz, for your talk about being human. Thank you, Markus, for covering the the baking of Europeans.
Yes. That was a plan.
I mean, shit. We've got a little. We don't have air conditioner built into our house in there, but we've got a little one that just deals with our room, and it's a small place, and we've got one floor, so it's fine, right? Yeah. I couldn't imagine not having it and having it be 104 degrees. That would just suck.
I could, as you know, go upstairs, and go there. It's the hottest room in the house, but it has an air conditioner,
Right, I know, but
I don't want to use it, because it causes so much environmental harm again, This is.
And they put the air conditioner in what used to be his room in the house, right?
Yeah.
And it's in the hottest room. Like, you put the air conditioner in an oven. It's really silly, but you did.
Yeah, but it helped. Last year,
It did.
helped me survive there.
I know. I remember this. I remember it. It totally helped. But see, not everybody in Europe can afford a freaking air conditioner to have these retrofitted.
This is not normal. This is an addition which was quite expensive.
Right.
But
right.
I could not do. It was impossible to live up there.
It's hot crossed European buns. Very funny.
Hey, Oz, just for you. Look behind me. The wiener is growing out of my head.
You're a wiener head.
Yeah, I don't see that now.
Germans and their sausage. Jesus. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
So we're being slightly humorous while we're talking about the extinction of our species and everything else.
Yes.
What else are you gonna do? I'm gonna talk about something that has actually helped me, and I think Laura and others, and that's getting involved directly with something else that's a distraction. So if you agree, like Ken Ward and myself and others, that it's really hopeless. We're watching the climate catastrophe unfold. It's eventually going to affect pretty much everybody. Even if I'm not directly affected by the climate crisis, I will be affected by migration. I will be affected by loss of food access, right? Who knows what else, right? So this year, like Uphill Media this year, I said this season for the campaign for 2020, we're not doing the same thing we did last time, which was to, we're still doing We the People. Larry's going to still do his work, but Larry's work has really shifted more to the Progressive Oregon show, Bernie Updates. Progressive Oregon is just more of to interview folks, but he's really doing a lot more with parliamentary procedure and stuff with the DPO, as I talked about before. Laura and I have both volunteered for Shahid Buttar's campaign, and I was expecting it to be it is a learning experience. It's an awesome learning experience. I was not expecting it to be as awesome and as cool as it has been. And just recently it got even more awesome and cool because his campaign really is picking up momentum, right? And I didn't expect it to be doing that this soon. I wasn't even sure what was going to happen with his campaign, but at this point, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of momentum, and just in the last week, there's a whole bunch of talent that's come in to volunteer, and it's been very exciting. And I just want to say, if you're out there and you don't know what to do with some extra time, and you're just sitting around worrying about climate crisis or worrying about our Nazi problem, Trump in office, whatnot, find a candidate around you or a candidate that you want to support. It doesn't have to be around you. Shahid's got team members from all around the world, actually. The internet allows us to do that. Your presence online for a candidate is invaluable, okay? And I didn't even realize the extent to what it could be until I saw what they have unraveling in the Shahid campaign, which is a very well organized, just incredible set of assets and processes to target media outlets, to create media, really get his name out there, and it's working. And it's watching this engine work that's been really fascinating for me as a volunteer, and doing my best not to say, well, I'm going to jump in there over here. It's like, no, when somebody says they need my help, or when, I'm going to offer my help here. And it's really great because as a volunteer, you're kind of limited from being held fully responsible for anything horrible that the campaign would do, right? You're a volunteer. and you're given limited stuff to do, which is great. So you can kind of control your amount of time and what you want to do for the campaign and don't want to do for campaign. If you're physically near a candidate that you want to help and support, that's even better, right? Go canvass, go to the meetings. You will feel better about the hopelessness when you've accomplished something, and it sounds stupid, but it's true. Humans function better when they have purpose or feel like they have purpose. Titles are good, purpose is better, says Nina, right? And I feel like I have some kind of purpose in the Shahid campaign. Not that I don't have purpose here with Uphill Media, right? But we're like a family. We hang out. We do things. It's like, it's the Saturday Club. Let's talk about how fucked the world is. But with Shahid's campaign, we're accomplishing things that to me are making a difference in the political spectrum and with democracy. And I still hold out a small sliver of hope for democracy to win and us not have to pick up our pitchforks. Small, little, but so there, just do that. Everybody should do that. Everybody should pick a candidate, somebody to do that. And I know for Laura, and if she wants to talk about it, she can. It has opened up a whole new world of opportunity, I think, for her, and it's really and for me too, I should say, because I'm doing video editing, which is something I've been teaching myself for years, and it's fucking fun as hell. And Laura is now I don't know what you want to say.
Yeah,
but,
that's too early to talk about. That's good.
But
no, it's cryptic.
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking monumental changes in life just because of these things. And I don't know, in Germany, in Germany, we helped Bjorn, who's running for office. Nobody even knows about this. We recorded this thing just for him with Markus, and he did an interview to be, what's the role, Markus?
Chairman of the party.
It would be comparable to Tom Perez, to give an idea.
As the role, he wouldn't be like Tom Perez. He would be right, but yeah,
no, not that, but the office.
Yeah, and that's this is fun stuff. Anyway, I just thank you all for when I say thank you for volunteering your time. It's when you're on the other end of the spectrum. I volunteer my time. It's all volunteer, right? But when you just go be a volunteer somewhere.
Yeah.
God, this is.
And it relates to what Deniz was talking about earlier. It's like what's important.
Yes.
I mean, this is if not now, when?
Right.
We don't have a lot of time to make the changes that we need.
Right.
It really can't be something that we can do later when it's more convenient. Yes. It really is now or never, and that's something that I've been grappling with a lot lately. What's the best use of my time and my skills and my energy?
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's why when we will come over to visit you guys, like our holidays, for me it will be a working holiday, because I want to meet those people and have the exchange and the experience and get where they're coming from and learn from each other, so that I can affect change here at home, and maybe from my European, German perspective, can bring ideas in that those guys didn't think about, because they're in the American bubble, as we like to say. I'm in my German bubble. Yeah.
There's so much possibilities to push forward the progressive agenda. You don't need necessarily to put yourself in danger. Like, for example, Ken Ward, who he interviewed 2 weeks ago. And
right.
So many things you can do. Right.
Every Ken Ward needs somebody to support them. Needs many people to support them. Thank you, Gene, for your donation. Appreciate
you, Gene.
Thank
you. Volunteers of America, the song and the idea, both. All right. That's always an option too. Working in 112 degree heat would suck, but that's like standard Las Vegas, July. There's Markus is right when he talks about the humidity factor, and when monsoon season hits Las Vegas area, then sure, that's horrific. But yeah, the dry heat, dry is different.
And the heat is coming directly from the Sahara, and it's like a big dome over Europe, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
It's only slowly moving.
Yeah. It's not, things aren't good. They're good. No. Anyway, volunteer, because the point of that is if you do something during the day, if you do something with your time that is useful, then you will be distracted enough from the Armageddon ahead. There it is. Change the channel.
Coping mechanism.
There it is. It's a coping mechanism. And let's see, then we have that again. And last week on UHM, I briefly mentioned the ice in Astoria. This is huge, and I hope more comes of it. I know there's more going on, but ICE basically had no warrant or right to take this man away, and they pepper sprayed a bunch of people that surrounded him, and they took him away. And, not normal. Upcoming events, Laura, you want to hit the debates?
Yeah, we are going to be covering the debates again this week, Tuesday and Wednesday night, 30th and 31st. I think it's the same time frame, 6 o'clock.
I think so.
And we will have our Raucous Caucus crew, John Graziano, Tina Desiree Berg, Pat Cody, and Jose Caballero, who's our, I love the cover. He's our copious note taker. Yeah. Does a great job on that. So we're going to try and stream the debate live, John?
Yeah, we're gonna stream it, okay. Like last time.
And we might get shut down or we might not. Nah. And we'll try to be kind of listening to it and coming in during the commercial breaks.
Yeah.
To do a little play-by-play, and then afterward we'll get deep into the analysis of what we saw. And last time I was really impressed with the group. They did I think we nailed it right on kind of where everybody landed out on other polls and stuff like that.
Agreed. And I want to thank Jimmy Sunderland for her beautiful work on the cards.
Jimmy's cards are wonderful.
Yeah. We did. If you look at that, there's a lot of new Easter eggs in there based on new information. The past due notices
in there. I love this.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So that's
floating above.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's we take a lot of time to put in that in. And a quick shout out to Jose Caballero, whose name I did not get on the actual card. I don't know why. But Jose is, if you look at this, everybody, he has a stack of notes. And the reason he has a stack of notes is because he was the one who took copious notes during the debate, which gave us something to talk about afterwards. So I really want to thank him for that. He's an amazing guy, and he's running for California's his 53rd against Susan Davis. And he's another one that really excites me, right? It's like, wow, this guy's got, every candidate's great, but certain ones are like, right?
Yeah. And it's got the knowledge and the experience and the maturity and the training, he's just approached it very methodically, and he's also got his own progressive strategy consulting.
Yeah.
So he's helping other candidates run a progressive campaign. So that's very cool.
Yeah. We have night 2 as well. We'll do them both. We're going to do a second one just because it'll be more fun to just make fun of Biden and Kamala. And
yeah, I wouldn't miss it.
What we will be doing is what Laura said, we'll come in during commercial breaks, but during the debate, I'll show the debate in the main screen, but I'm going to run tweets from Pat and Tina and John and Jose and all of us. It'll be our little, under the hashtag Raucous Caucus. So you'll be able to see those, and that'll be much more fun than just,
And we'll run from chat too, right?
Oh, yeah. I'll run from chat, same stuff.
Yeah.
Like the old times, engagement broadcasting, make it more fun for everybody.
Be a part of it.
And
then the chat, that's great because the chat sticks to the video afterward, unless the video is taken down. But so your pithy comments are preserved for all time.
There you go. Right. Think about that. Whatever you say is on the record, at least on YouTube's.
For your avatar.
And then, what is this? Okay. So here's the thing. Tomorrow, no Progressive Oregon, and then there's nothing going on during the week. No We the Peoples.
Well, except for the debates.
The debates are going on, but there's no We the Peoples.
No.
And then I drive down to California on Friday, the 2nd. And stay with Laura and meet Larry, and then go hang out with Shahid a little bit on Monday the 4th and end up home. And then after
And Monday the 5th, Sunday the 4th, we will be celebrating Adriel's wedding.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Adriel Hanson's
Which
wedding
is-
on
that's
the 4th.
Kind of the reason you're coming down.
Well, it is, but you know, I'm actually doing this as a drive to see parts of California before they're gone.
Yeah,
That's my
exactly.
goal. Like,
So no show. So no show next week, but we'll probably do maybe some short videos or stuff while
oh
you're
yeah,
here.
oh,
We're
yeah.
together.
Oh yeah, we'll do that. And but my point being is I'll be driving along the 5 down that way, and I'll ping everybody. But whoever's along that route, you want to meet me, and you know, I don't know, I could stay for a few minutes, but I'm not gonna like drive way off the road to go find people. But I will be stopping for gas in the town of Weed. I always stop in the town of Weed. There's an obvious reason why.
Well, it's right at the foot of Mount Shasta, so it's
Yeah.
one of the most spectacular
Beautiful.
stops
It's
ever.
beautiful. Yeah, you get out of the gas station, you just look, you're like, wow. And there's
Mostly roads.
wildflowers everywhere. It really is. It looks like you've gotten out in Stony Land. And I've been stopping at this gas station just, you know, since 1985.
Yeah, the
Right,
Chevron,
so-
right? The one right there.
Yep, you know exactly. It's like,
I know. It's just
yeah.
it's like a vortex. You know, the snack bar is like.
I hate that it's a fossil fuel monument that I stop at, but you know, stop at the Chevron monument.
You should definitely post the route you are driving, and then maybe our viewers can do weed stops or
Yes.
something.
Yes. Well, and I know Jilly Love lives somewhere down in that way, but I'm not driving all the way up to your mountain hideaway, Jilly. If you want to come meet me in Weed or somewhere else, that's cool. And you know, we'll talk politics and say hi to each other, because that's what I plan on doing the whole drive down.
It would be a wheat and greed, right?
That's exactly what it would be. And anyway,
I have a little question around the wedding. Is there a dress code? John, are you really serious considering wearing a smoking and all this stuff, or what?
Black tie, yeah.
what? Oh, for the
want a
wet? No.
The suit
Yeah.
and when.
Do you have something? Well, it doesn't have to be a suit. It's an outdoor. It's an
I
outdoor
have a
wedding.
Merriam and Barium thing, you know,
Yeah.
a black suit jacket and a pair of jeans, and that's what you get.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
And I have black shoes, nice black shoes that I will put on. That's it. Marcus could loan me like 5,000. No, just kidding. Everybody in Germany is fashionable because they have money to spend on fashion out there. Anyway, moving on. So that's what's happening. So I'll be then August 7th. There's our
Yes.
first We the People returns, and here we get into like we're start to kick ass here, right?
Yeah,
So,
we've got August booked now. I just filled the last slot yesterday, and we start on August 7th with Albert Lee, who you interviewed him on Progressive Oregon, did you not? Or did you do a special with him?
I didn't interview him. Larry
did. That's right.
Larry talked to him, so this will be our first. But I know Albert, and I'm, you know, he's a cool guy, and we talked about Albert before when when he was the guy to raise up and censor the chair.
Right.
Right. This
Right,
is Albert. If you want to talk about what a progressive looks like,
Yeah.
this guy, because he was the one to say, yeah, censor the chair for things I can't say.
That's right. So he's Oregon District 3. So he's on the 7th. And we just have one that week. And then the following week, we've got a new candidate to me. He reached out and introduced himself, Emmanuel Morel. He's running in Florida District 20, I believe. I have not talked to him yet, but he's got a very progressive platform. We're looking forward to meeting him.
Yeah.
And then on the 15th, we have Marie Newman. And now she's the one who is kind of at the center of that whole thing about not allowing the DCCC to support candidates who are running against incumbents. And her incumbent is that anti-choice Democrat Daniel Lipinski in Illinois, who's kind of a scary looking dude. And so she's been, has a lot to say about, how the DCCC and the DNC are supporting incumbents and how that is, meant to be hurting the challengers. But I think it's actually working in their favor because a whole lot of support is coming from different areas to help them. So I'm looking forward to speaking with Marie.
Yeah.
And we've got, and we'll announce others as their dates approach.
Right. Oz, you're happy about Emmanuel? Good. Right.
Oh, good.
That's right. He's in your area, right? Yeah. That's it. So we got those We the Peeps, and I know we'll have more coming up when we get back. There's also Bernie Stock, which is happening
September 8th on Bernie's birthday.
And you're going to be up there up here for that.
I am hoping to.
Larry was telling me, I just realized, Larry, there's a meeting today, I didn't know this, in Albany about Bernie Stock, and Larry is here and wanted to stop by in the morning. So I don't know where he is. Anyway, let me drop by.
I think he means tomorrow, though, John.
What?
I think he means he wants to stop by tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Is it tomorrow? No? All right. Maybe it's whatever.
Well, he said he wanted to stop by at 9:30 in the morning, and that was around 10 in the morning. So I'm assuming he means.
Was it around 10? Okay. All right. Good. See, there's just too much going on.
I gotta keep it right there, John.
Thank you. It's getting back to this crazy times. That for the next, year, 18 months, whatever we have, it's going to be crazy. Cherry sativa gummies.
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to bring those to me, Jilly? You can't be talking about this. Are you going to meet me in weed with some cherry sativa gummies? I'm all over that.
She's closer to the 101 side of the state.
Are you close to? Are you?
Side. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, thank you, Al. Thank you, Al.
Hey, Al. Thank you so much. After careful consideration, I've decided to stand with Omar to save democracy. We must impeach the motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Word.
Notice, I just to real quick on that. Notice how so the House moved forward with impeachment. I haven't read the full thing, but they have moved forward with impeachment proceedings. Okay, which means Nancy lost. Right. That was announced this morning. Everybody started jumping ship. If you notice, I don't know what it was, what the catalyst was in the last week or several days, but Jeff Merkley did a complete 180 in a week. He sent me an email asking for cash, all right, and it said, John, I'm gonna fight Trump and blah 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 blah, and children in cages, and because Jeff's been spending a lot of time at the border, and then after he goes to the border and then tweets a lot about bad things at the border, he turns around and votes for the military budget, which includes money for ICE and everything else. So Jeff's been a real big hypocrite pile of shit. He sends me this email that says, John, children, cages, border, Trump. And then he says, if the House wants to move forward with impeachment, I, of course, will back it. But right now, I don't feel it's the right way to go. Nancy Pelosi's great, blah, 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 blah. Give me some money. All right. Now is his email. And yesterday or the day before, he blasts out in social, I resoundingly call for impeachment, blah, 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 blah. So
wow.
That's a massive shift. In Merkley, I believe I just saw it out of DeFazio. And you know why this is happening, everybody? It's not happening because they want to. It's happening because they have pressure from the progressive left, and they know they've all got challengers. DeFazio's got a challenger. Blumenauer's got a challenger. Schrader's got a challenger. I don't know that Merkley's got a challenger, but Merkley knows he's got to toe his progressive ass. Right? I really think Merkley is an actual progressive. He's just lost his way. Right? But that's a huge shift. And we are moving forward with impeachment proceedings. And so this is going to get interesting. Really interesting. That should have been the big news, but I don't really care because it's just going to be a shit show. It's really just going to be a shit show.
Did you see the tweet that Nancy Pelosi put out today? Congressman AOC and I sat down to discuss working together to meet the needs of our district and our country, fairness in our economy, and diversity in our country. And they're sitting right together. And I just have this vision that behind their backs, Pelosi is digging her nails into the back of arm. It's so because a lot of people are warning about some of AOC's votes this week, and I think she just got a huge come to Jesus with her boss Pelosi, basically, as the speaker, and was told to, in no uncertain terms, to take a seat, and AOC is not omnipotent. She's young and she is a junior member, and I think a lot of them are getting a lot of pressure behind the scenes.
Oh, hell yeah.
To toe the line, to vote certain things. Like, you can do that if you vote for this. I mean, I can only imagine, the House of Cards shit that's going on
did
behind
you see
that.
Yeah, well, we just had one of those votes. AOC voted yes on the military bill.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I haven't seen a tweet from her about why. But that's completely against. She's voted against it before. I don't know why she voted for this, but she just recently voted against the appropriations bill that gave ICE funding, and then she votes for this. And it's like, is it because AOC decided, or is it because they decided to move forward with impeachment? What, that's...
Yes, I'm pretty sure there's something going on in the back we don't know.
Oh, yeah.
And I think she usually she declares her steps, and I'm pretty sure that she would when the time is ready for this.
Yeah, they're still throwing weight around.
Yeah, it's we see this. It's whatever posturing or moving is happening in the background. Somebody just said it in chat, and it's gone now. But you were absolutely right. Impeachment will take too long. Not expecting impeachment to actually be successful. What impeachment is going to do is uncover a lot of bullshit. It's going to uncover a lot of bullshit from both parties who are really the same, right? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm hoping. That what it does is really expose a lot of bullshit for the American public. It's going to be a shit show either way. And no, of course he won't get impeached. But, Nixon wasn't impeached either. He was forced to resign. Right? That's what I want. I want a forced resignation from the motherfucker. And anybody who thinks that having Pence in office is worse, it's not. Let me tell you what.
Well, remember, she had told us that Pence would not stay as VP.
Right. And so what I want is the distraction of Trump and social media gone.
Yeah.
That alone will do wonders for information flow in this country. Right? That alone.
That's right. But I heavily doubt that he would resign. The moment he resigns, he is open for the hunt. To land in jail. Or the other.
Well, no, but that's what he would sign. I mean, Nixon was ripe for landing in jail, and that's why he resigned.
You mean that he will get an amnesty or something?
Yeah. I will resign, and you don't prosecute my ass for any of this.
If you don't charge me, I'll go.
Right.
Okay,
but that would only work. For that, civilly, he can have his ass sued till the end of time. Trump's already got a stack of fucking lawsuits, and he knows that this is the catch-22. If he stays in office, he remains immune to all that other bullshit.
Exactly.
Right? And that's what I want to. That's what I want to get rid of. Anyway. Hey Oz, thanks for the $5.
Thank you, Oz.
Everybody's commenting on this, so I just. This is
to keep depressing me. Thank you. We'll keep at it.
We are doing our best, Oz, man.
Yeah, we're running over time anyway. This was fun. One of the jobs that we do in working on Shahid's campaign is like looking for memes and stuff. And I just want to look. In the last week, there has been a shitstorm of anti-Pelosi, negative Pelosi content that has come out. And I really think that has had a big factor on the change towards impeachment because she doesn't want to lose power, right? And I really think and I've seen it because we've seen it come through the Shahid Slack, right? One of the other things that's also coming through are memes. This one I didn't drop in the Shahid Slack because it's not appropriate, but I just want to say that's one of the funnest things. You get involved with a campaign and get involved with their social media team, finding stuff, sharing stuff, grabbing quotes. It's fun. It really is. Mm-hmm. If you're wasting your time now, Paul Chaitlin, raging about things, Paul Chaitlin, maybe you should do it for a candidate, Paul Chaitlin. Just to mention somebody who doesn't watch this show.
No. You're right. Maybe it would be more productive to put the energy in something positive, than something.
Yeah. Anytime I'm like bitching on Facebook or Twitter, I'm like, why am I doing this? I could be, fighting something for a candidate or whatever. Anyway.
Not that he's wrong. In most cases, he's absolutely right. But I think he should use his energy for something positive.
I agree. All right, presidential seal, and let's get the hell out of here. Did y'all see this?
Yeah.
Some kind of...
So many details in it. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm a crappy meme maker.
That's Marcus is showing you the detail there on the. If you don't know the story, everybody, it's just really quick. Apparently, Trump did a speech somewhere with this as the backdrop. It is not the presidential seal. It is a mockery of the presidential seal, which makes perfect sense. And Trump didn't notice. Nobody noticed. Secret Service didn't notice. You know.
And it's the claw of the eagle is holding golf clubs instead of arrows. It's a two-headed eagle.
Right.
Yeah.
One. And instead of e pluribus unum at the top, it says I believe in Spanish says that he's a puppet. You know.
Yes.
Yes.
And you cannot see it in the shield in the middle of the eagle. You know, they can see little hammers and sickles.
Oh yeah, it's like a Russian coat of. Yeah.
This thing is completely made to burn Trump, right? And yeah.
He probably thought it was cool. You know.
Do you really think he knows the difference?
No, it's like, yeah, I like the golf clubs and the Russia. I mean,
they'd be a new presidential sign.
Yeah, I know. They should should just tell him it's the real one.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't know. Anyway, that was fun.
Oh, Markus, tune it down. I'm sitting in the next room, man. Chill out.
You are here already?
All right, so here's this. What'd you pick? You picked a perfect song title. My shit's fucked up. That's the Earth, it's humanity's statement, right? Who is this guy?
Yeah. I was desperately looking today for an outro song, you know, and I walked through the YouTube list and I got inspired, and suddenly I found Kinky Friedman. I think I read the title, you know, and I think, okay, let me see what's behind it, and I like the song. And the funny thing is that in 2006, he's also a politician. He's not only a musician. And in 2006, he ran for the governor of Texas. And doing this, he was also supported by Jesse Ventura and others. And this is remarkable. I read a little bit about him. He had a very progressive agenda for 2006 already. I'm a little bit struggling with his border control ideas, but in general, I think he's not the one of the worst guys. You know, he ran as a Republican at that time, and he came in as fourth, and he didn't make it, and I think he did not candidate anymore and concentrated only on the music. And I think the song says it all. It's the situation we are in, and enjoy it.
Thank you so much for finding this gem. Interesting. And thank you, everybody, for being here. It's a really good time.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for being here, and thanks for your continued support. And
No show next week, but look for random drops.
Random drops of videos, and we've got the debates coming up. So join us for those Tuesday, Wednesday. Is that what
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Tuesday, Wednesday. The events are up there, so whatever time it says there. Because I didn't pay attention. Bye, everybody. Thanks.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Well, I went to the doctor. I said, I'm feeling kind of rough. He said, I'll break it to you, son. Your shit's fucked up. I said, my shit's fucked up? Well, I don't see how. He said, the shit that used to work, it won't work now. Had a dream, ah shucks, oh well, now it's all fucked up, it's shot to hell. Yeah, my shit's fucked up, it has to happen to the best of us, the rich folks suffer like the rest of us, it'll happen to you. That amazing grace sort of passed you by. You wake up every day and you start to cry. Yeah, you wanna die, but you just can't quit. Let me break it on down. It's the fucked up shit.